fighting this case has really just took a big toll on me. I haven't released music in the past 3 years, and I just decided to, set everything in God's hands. It feel good to be from Nashville now.
It does.
I ain't gonna say it felt like this 20 years ago, but
No, I didn't. It's pretty crazy when you look at the amount of talent that was born in the greater Nashville area.
that's true.
But back then, when you started, there was nobody coming
No.
out of Nashville.
Back then when I first started, man, you had to fight to even get a record spent on the radio.
Yep.
It's probably not a light pole in this city I haven't hung a poster up
Right,
on.
exactly.
This city made me before me becoming a part of G Unit. I had a dream that I got this big record with Taylor Swift. That's always been something big of mine to be able to share a stage with a Yellow Wolf, Jelly Roll, Taylor Swift, and me.
That'd be great.
I think we owe Nashville something like that.
Young Buck,
Yes, sir.
welcome to the podcast.
Hey, man, glad to be here, man. Glad to be here.
Nashville legend, man.
Hey, man, we both are.
Oh, man. I don't know about me. I know you
mean
are,
it.
though.
No, man, definitely a staple to the city. I've played my part, still playing my part, and it feel good to be from Nashville now.
It does.
I ain't gonna say it felt like this 20 years ago, but
No, I didn't.
it feel good now,
I feel like it was like a big town 20 years ago, not quite a city.
Yeah, exactly. We was like I was telling you earlier, with us being natives, we done seen the skyline go from, that big to where we at now, and still growing crazy. So I think the city deserved it, It's a lot of gentrification and stuff going down around here, and a lot of it was needed, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the, inner city ghetto areas is now turning into $500,000 homes right there in the middle of the hood. So it's just like, you gotta change is something you gotta adapt to.
Yeah, man. This whole area was, pretty rough 20 years ago.
It was, man. It really was.
Yeah.
You got I think that's South 8 projects over there.
Yep.
And just on this whole East Nashville has just did a full 360, and shout out to the city, shout out to the mayor.
Yeah.
He's really hands-on. I like our mayor that we have right now, man. He's really
Yeah,
hands-on.
I interviewed Freddie, did a podcast
Freddie's
with
a
him.
good guy, man.
He is. We have some disagreements on a few things, but what I like about him is you can talk to him.
Exactly.
And that's all you can really ask for.
And you know what? That's about as much as you can ask for from a mayor.
Yeah.
To see him, really indulge with the people.
Yep.
I really appreciate having a mayor like that really gets out here and puts his feet on the ground with the people, and in our trying times, good times, whatever. It's like he's right there. So yeah, shout out to Freddie, man. Keep doing your job.
Freddie, he went to school here in Nashville too. His mom was a teacher at Overton.
You know what? I've heard that. I also found out that he was a DJ recently.
Yeah, I saw his pictures.
Once he did the New Year's Eve thing, and I had reached out to him, was like, man, don't forget me, man. They didn't put me on the show. He was like, yo, I got you, So, and I think he gave me a shout out. It was a lot of love, but I definitely would want to follow up with that one next year. Get on that stage,
For sure. Yeah, he was doing stuff with Jelly Roll too. He went to that toy drive Jelly did.
Yep. Shout out to Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll been really, really holding it down for the city and just killing it all over the world. So, and Jelly Roll, one of them guys where, we grew up together. In his rap era, he was really making noise even in the rap side. So for him to find, the love that he, is really prospering from, which is the country music, it's just great to see him blow, because he's one that was really there and really a part of, the streets, really a part of the local rap scene, and just trying to make it. And he made it,
He did, man. He did. He was, the amount of adversity that he's overcome, it's been incredible,
It is, man, and it's not an easy job. So I really take my hat off to him. And I also feel like, Jelly Roll, he knows how to speak very well, about certain things in regards to the city that I really like the way he articulates himself in the presence of, so quote unquote, these high power politicians and
Did you see him at the Senate?
I did.
Man,
and I
that was such a good
really like
speech.
to see him. I love to hear him talk, man, for real, man. That speech was just right on point, man.
Yeah, and we're actually going to the Grammys on Sunday.
Oh,
So
yeah?
I was like, I cannot miss Jelly Roll at the Grammys. So.
Oh man, he deserves it, and I'm sure he gonna bring the house down again with one of them speeches that the world needs to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Yeah, it's been incredible to watch. I like that when he goes to different cities. Like, we've both been locked up before. And
Exactly. Exactly.
He walks the walk. You know, he goes in, he motivates the prisoners. He gives them hope.
Exactly. I've seen him doing that, and that's something that I'm in the future looking to do as well, especially with me experiencing prison. You know, I went to Yazoo Federal Penitentiary, and I think, what was that, 2012, 2014 or whatever. I was sentenced to 18 months for possession of a felon in possession of a firearm, which at the time I never possessed a firearm. There was no fingerprints, no DNA, or none of that. It was just a gun that was found in my home, and you know, somehow he landed me in prison. You know, just dealing with that DA at the time. You know, he was kind of hell bent on, you know, getting cooperation out of me in regards to other individuals that I had no idea about what they had going on. And once I didn't cooperate, you know, he told me, I'm gonna send you to prison, and he did. You know, I wasn't gonna try to fight that system.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know, it's a tough system, and found myself in a situation now within Sumner County that is just ridiculous. Like, I'm sure a lot of people's already familiar with it. It was all over the news and stuff like that. But a female that I used to have a relationship with, she became a little irate and shot a weapon a couple times. And I wasn't hit, thank God. I didn't physically put my hands on this lady or nothing like that that was life-threatening. Somewhere in the midst of it, you know, she became irate enough to fire the weapons, and you know, I was never arrested there. I was able to pull away and pull off and get away, but somehow, I guess when the police it was all captured over the Ring camera across the street from the neighbor's home. And then that's a picture that they have in the media where it shows her firing the weapon and me backing out of my truck and stuff.
So why are they coming after you?
I mean, that's a good question, but somehow they, well, in the beginning, I guess they had, they were looking to do a wellness check to make sure I wasn't shot or anything. And then out of nowhere, I think the following day, I was being charged with felon in possession of a firearm based on the fact that, you know, I used to stay in the home, so I still had mail coming to that address. Since when I got out of jail, I didn't have no other addresses to send anything to, so they searched the home. And of course, I'm sure she probably let them know who I was, but she also stated, you know, he has nothing to do with these guns. You know, she retrieved the firearms from a lockbox, and I had no idea about none of that. And somehow, I guess my DNA or whatever was found on the home with me using to live at the home. You know, my DNA is probably all over the house. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really familiar where they even, you know, got the guns from. But yeah, man, it's a fight, man, in Sumner County. So I just pray about it, you know, because I understand me being a big fish in a small pond. I don't know if they're focusing on the fact of me having a prior case where I went to prison and looking at me as guilty or thinking, because even at my General Sessions appearance, the judge was like, well, do you know you're going to jail for this? And I'm like, what? How can you tell me this? You don't even know my case. And
What do they charge you with?
they charged me with felon in possession of a firearm.
Same thing.
And it's so crazy, man, in that whole situation because within 30 to 60 days, they dropped her entire case. and she actually shot the gun at me. I'm the victim.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like they found out it's young buck, and it's like we're gonna do whatever we got to do to get this conviction against this guy. So that's the fight. I've had an ankle monitor on my ankle for 3 years, man.
Oh man,
3 years, bro.
they haven't moved forward with the charges.
No, man. February 8th is a settlement date for me in Sumner County where I can't settle for. They offered me 10 years to serve, man. 10 years to serve, and then they came back and told me if I plead guilty to the charge and take 12 years of community correction. I'm like, what? I just pulled up to get some clothes. You dig? A little argument and stuff occurred, and I was charged with vandalism as well, but I threw a can of paint and broke something that I bought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was a TV, but no physical harm was done to me or her. And
the girl saying it's not your gun.
Of course, she's being honest when she's saying that. She's even letting them know, like, he has nothing to do with no weapons. Like, I retrieved the guns. All of this is in the media already, her statements and stuff. She's letting them know, like, I retrieved the gun from a lockbox, which Lord knows I ain't had no access to or codes or none of that. Like I say, I just don't understand a lot of these things that they doing, but I think it's just based off of, me being a big fish in a small pond. And a lot of times, a lot of people I've realized with my life, it's hard for them to separate Young Buck, the artist, from David Brown, the person.
Yeah, man.
So, my music is very street driven. You know what I'm saying? And I speak about a lot of things that I come from, I've dealt with, I'm dealing with, things that I see that's going on within the ghetto that I come from.
Yeah.
And I just think a lot of times they're overlooking that I'm just as human as them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think, a lot of the DAs, they got to put themselves in the other people's shoes. Of course, there's victims. There's no victim to this crime. But put themselves in your shoes. And, this is the second time that's happened in a similar situation where it wasn't your gun.
Exactly.
So,
exactly, man.
You got to ask why they want to push it so hard. Have you ever been to prison for something violent?
No, man. I've only went to prison. My first gun charge in my entire life,
okay,
I was sent to federal prison.
Gotcha.
I've never had any drug charges or anything, no violent charges or nothing. It was just that was the only thing that sent me to prison. And even then, the felony that I had was behind a case that I had caught in Los Angeles at the award show in regards to Dr. Dre. An individual had physically put his hands on Dr. Dre, and somehow somebody became stabbed out of the situation. So I was the one that was given the charge to saying it was me that stabbed the guy. And I'm letting them know, no, I didn't stab him, man. I had a fork, which they sent a forensic team in and somehow found the fork that I had.
Yeah.
So that attempted murder charge was dropped.
That's good.
And it was dropped down to I think a simple assault. Mm-hmm. So my attorney at that time had to go and he was supposed to go after my 3-year supervision was unsupervised probation was up. He was supposed to go get it removed off of my record. Mm-hmm. So at the time it read I was still a felon, even though I completed, the supervision part of it. It was 6 years after.
Yep. And
he had fully forgot about it once I caught that first case. So even then I was trying, I had reached out to the attorney and was like, yo, the felony that I got is what they're using from this. Can you go get it removed? He went and got it removed, but the judge was like, hey, it read you was a felon at the time. We're going forward with this case. So a lot of people really just don't know my situation of even having to go to prison the first time. It wasn't me being caught with a weapon or riding with a weapon or any of the things of that. It was a weapon that was found in my home, and the home was in my name.
How did they get in the home, though?
They came in my home in regards to the bank. I was going through a bankruptcy at the time.
I see.
And they had a writ which is just as well as a warrant, but it was based on them coming and getting the belongings out of my house to be able to auction it off. And in the process, they found the weapon. And even then, when they showed me the weapon, I was like, oh, that's my security. That's, you know, that's my tour manager's gun, to be honest. And, you know, they did nothing. They just took the weapon, but 8 months later, they indicted me. They found, I think, a bullet that didn't even match the gun that they found, and charged me with felon in possession of ammunition as well.
Man.
In the home. So it was just like, man, I'm like, I've never touched this gun. No fingerprints, no DNA. I never had nothing. I just felt like it would go away.
Yep.
But the DA had, he was, I don't even want to say his name.
Yeah, it's all good.
He's a tough guy, bro. He was like I say, it was more to my situation than just them finding that gun, because he was just, you know, more or less trying to get me to cooperate with individuals that he had pictures with me being on. And I'm like, I take pictures with all kind of people. I'm a celebrity. That don't mean I know what they got going on.
Yeah.
So I can't even conversate with you about nobody. You know what I'm saying? And you know, he said, okay, you don't want to cooperate, I'm gonna send you to prison. And I could have possibly fought it, but honestly, he scared me enough to take them 18 months because I didn't know what he may do.
Yeah, you get a lot more
Yes,
charges.
Man, you know, so yeah.
And they have DAs have so much power, man.
They do, man.
It's just like, and you know, like you took a plea because if you didn't, you could have been possibly facing a lot more time.
Exactly.
And drop some other charges possibly.
Exactly.
And it's tough, man. The system. I mean, when I got arrested, I was 20 years old. Conspiracy to sell Schedule 1. It was ecstasy. And I was facing 15 years in federal prison. And so...
dodged the bullet.
Yeah, man. Well, my parents mortgaged your house. We had to pay a fine or donation or whatever they'd called it to the drug task force. And then they dropped it to a 8-year state felony. So and I had a sentencing hearing. So the judge could have sentenced me to 8 years prison or no time and probation. So I ended up getting 8 months at that sentencing hearing. And it was the riskiest thing I've ever done, because in the break of the sentencing hearing, the DA came and offered me 3 years. But I had already opened my martial arts school and my clothing line. I knew if I took that, I had to go in that day and not be able to appeal it.
Exactly.
And so I said no. I turned that down, facing it. And then went back in. The judge, you know, he sentenced me to 8 months to serve, 8 years probation, like I think 500 or 1,000 hours community service, a lot of community service. And then I appealed that. The judge's like, "Why are you appealing? You just got to, you know." And he did give me a reasonable deal. I wasn't upset with him, but I was like, I got to open my martial arts school. I just opened my martial arts school, and I don't want to like have it closed. I want something by the time I go in, something to come back to.
Exactly.
And so after I went to the appellate court, I appealed to the Supreme Court and lost both of those rightfully. But it bought me time to build those businesses.
Exactly. And that's the luck of the gods.
Yes, right, man.
For
That's
real.
a blessing, man.
Yeah, man. Sumner County is just, like I say, man, I've never seen nothing like this in my life. It's not like I'm just a barrel of trouble and been in so many different courtrooms. I haven't, you know, experienced a lot of that, but to see, you know, how hard and how, you know, aggressive that the DA is being in my situation, because in the very beginning, they were looking to just throw it out.
Yeah.
You know, my lawyer was like, you know, okay, I got it worked out. They're gonna, you know, drop the gun charge and you'll be free to go. And out of nowhere, he said that the arresting officer comes in and starts reciting my music to the DA.
Oh, man.
Which was crazy and just really got this mind, you know, I think kind of tried to create a picture of me as being, you know, some drug dealing, gang banging individual, you know, based off of the music that I speak on at times and stuff like that. And you know, the DA took the deal off the table, and I've been fighting ever since, man. For the past 3 years, like I say, with an ankle monitor on my ankle for 3 years, paying $250 a month for the ankle monitor, and it's just unfair, man. I just feel like it's very, very unfair what I'm going through. I'm a man of responsibility. I take responsibility for my actions, and it's just one of these situations where, with me being a victim, I just don't understand. It's clear cut. And then the biggest thing is that, you know, you guys dropped this lady's charge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 3 years ago, her charges was dropped. So you can kind of see in my situation why they're actually going after me. I think more than anything is because you know, it's Young Buck, but Young Buck is the man I am today is not the man I was yesterday.
Yeah, man.
As well. So it's just like, man, my mind is so beyond my younger years, and when you're young, you know, I can't act like I'm perfect. I made a lot of mistakes, and you know, probably pissed off a lot of people, and you know, I just wasn't as mature as I am, and really understanding even in the rap business and just business itself, you know.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to grow with my city, man. I helped build this city in a lot of areas, you know.
Yep.
So I just want to be a part of the city as much as possible, you know. Jump on podcasts like with you, with the great people of the city, natives of individuals who, and just, you know, just grow to becoming the artist and the man that I am now, and be respected for that, not for the individuals and some of the things that I may put in or have put in people's face to make them even feel like that. Like, get a chance to know me and just be fair and be honest, you know?
Well, I mean, you think about, you know, you were pretty young when you had your first success.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you know, and your high school years were pretty wild, you were saying.
They were, man. I never graduated from any high school here. Me and you the same age, and we share common ground. You say you graduated from Overton. I used to go to Overton.
Yep.
I went to Hillwood. I went to Whites Creek. I went to all of these different high schools in a 1 year span. You know, I dropped out of school in the 9th grade, but I got my GED in federal prison, you know, and came home with that, and started to get off into a few college courses as well, and haven't followed that up, but I'm in the process of following them up as well. So you can take a bad situation and turn it into a good one. I've learned that, you know.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, your past doesn't define you.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been a felon now for 22 years.
Yeah.
You know, so people say, you know, you shouldn't talk about it. I'm like, I don't care, man. My past is my past. If you're going to judge me for who I was when I was 20 years old, that's on you, man.
That's on you.
That's not who I am today. And I've made plenty of mistakes, and I'm grateful for it, actually.
Exactly.
I'm grateful for all that adversity, because it, you know, adversity molds you into, you could either become a little bitch, or you could step up and do good things.
And you sound like me. I tell my partners all the time. I was talking with Charlie P, and I said, man, you know, honestly, he was like, man, I don't know how you handle all of this, bro. Like, you know, in regards, I do get down. You know, fighting this case, man, it takes a toll on me. It's taking a toll on me, my children, just my life in general. And sometimes, you know, I go through my motions, and Charlie P is like, you know, outside of just being management to my career, he's one of my best friends. So he was like, I remember him saying, like, you know, man, I don't know how you do it.
Yeah.
And how you making it through all of this, man.
It's a heavy weight waiting for the outcome of the sentence. It's like it's hard for people to even understand what that's like until they've
never been through it.
Man, it's heavy.
It's a heavy load, man. And just the thought of being away from your loved ones, your children, and things like that, man, it gets real heavy. But you know, I've always looked at it like God ain't gonna put nothing on me that I can't carry.
That's right.
So, you know, I've been through the worstest and still here.
Yeah.
So I'm here for a reason.
Absolutely.
So finding my purpose is what my direction is. I love music, but I've always looked at music as a stepping stone to help me get off into other things. Like, I want to do movies. I just love business, man, real estate. You know, I want to open up a few bars and restaurants around here because I love the nightlife. I like the party. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a few things that where I'm growing to, where I've grown to actually want to do different from, you know, for my city and things like that. You know, going through these things like that kind of hinders you at times because you just don't know what the outcome
What's
is
going to happen
be.
right now? You can't make plans when you got
make plans when you
ankle
know.
bracelet on. And
Exactly.
3 years is too long to drag it out, too. It's like torture. They should give you those 3 years back.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm the same way. I'm thinking the same way. I'm like, was that enough? Is this enough? Like, this should be enough, man. Y'all done had this on my ankle for 3 years. And you know, honestly, man, I put it all in God's hands. I know I'll be all right, you know, and look at it that way.
I mean, so looking at the last 20 years from when you were first successful to now, what do you think the biggest lesson you've learned over those years is?
It's understanding the business before you put your John Hancock on anything. You know, I've made a lot of mistakes in regards of not knowing the business, but I've always, coming from Nashville, especially on the rap side of things, that was once upon a time. Now it's growing and become bigger. We have a lot of artists and stuff that's growing and blowing and doing their thing, but it was a point of time in this city where rap wasn't, you know, relevant. You understand what I'm saying? So I started focusing on opportunity more than the business in the beginning. And I had a lot of big opportunities in front of me that kind of took me away from understanding or trying to learn the business. You know, my younger years, the first guys I met in the game was UGK. And then rest in peace to Pimp C and shout out to Bun B. But I met those guys. I met Pimp first, Pimp C, and he was good friends with person that raised me by the name of Priest. Rest in peace to him. He just recently passed away, but they were good friends, and you know, I've always loved the rap. So he was one of the ones that was telling Pimp C, like, yo, man, my young one right here, he loved the rap, you know what I mean? And he heard me and he was like, yo, bro, you know, you got it. And that was even when I was a kid, he was like, man, if I could do something for you, I would, but I'm going through the situation with Jive. Just, you know, take your time and make sure you learn the business. And I heard him, but I didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you only know what you're learning as you go, too.
You learn as you go.
How old were you when you got, I guess, did you get signed for the first, was it signed when you...
After I met UGK, I never signed with them, and then that's when I met Cash Money with Baby and Lil Wayne and BG Turk and Juvenile. Those guys, I met them at a young age, and never actually got into the contract part, but I did move around with them for years and just growed up and learned a lot of the not the business, but music with them as well. And I ended up kind of branching off and rocking with Juvenile's label, UTP. And I never signed a contract in those years, but I was a part of it. Like I say, the opportunity was what I knew if I took advantage of the opportunity, it would get me to where I needed to go. But I felt like I'll learn the business along the way, not calculating in the mistakes that I would make, you know, contractually. Once I did get a contract, I think I was, 20, going on 2021, and that was with G-Unit. G-Unit was the first and only contract that I've ever been. It was my first contract, but ended up being my worst contract.
What was that like? Because I remember when you blew up. It was like that song, what was it?
Let Me In or Shorty Wanna Ride
Shorty
With
Wanna
Me.
Ride.
Shorty Wanna Ride With Me. That song's still taking
song.
me around the world to this very day, bro. I've just booked 2 or 3 shows this morning.
That's
you
good.
know, but yeah, man.
So you were 21 or so when that came out?
Yeah.
What was that like? Because you had to be like, all of a sudden, you're a star.
Man.
Out of Nashville.
It was, phew, man. Like I say, I did everything I should have did and everything I shouldn't have did.
Yeah.
You did what I'm saying? Financially, I had no experience of even what taxes was.
Man.
You know, I found myself filing bankruptcy then, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, once I got a hold of my living conditions was at the worst. My mom was right up the street in South Fayette at that time. And I bought my mom's a house, bought myself a house, bought myself a few cars and jewelry and all of that. And by the time it was the end of the year, it was like Uncle Sam wanted his. And I'm like,
what's that?
What is that?
Who's Uncle Sam?
Who's Uncle Sam? I thought he was just the guy, you know, that you see on the 4th of July with the suit on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And at that time, me and 50, we was not on the best of terms, you know what I'm saying? Because he disagreed with a few things in regards to, he said, my actions of kind of communicating with individuals that he didn't see eye to eye with. So I was kicked out the group. And at that time, my business management was his business management. My lawyer was hired through his lawyer. I come up under this umbrella that was kind of created over there with them at that time. And, once he kicked me out the group, he, of course, stopped everything.
Yeah.
So
you got to build back up.
I had to build back up at that time. And then in the midst of that is when I caught the gun charge. So now I go to prison. So
the time frame, from when you signed with G Unit and had a lot of success to kind of like the fallout with 50 Cent. How long was that?
From the time I signed with G Unit was in 2002, 2003. And then we fell out around 2010, maybe 2010 up to 2012.
I see. And the gun charge was 2013-ish?
Yep, 2013.
Yeah, so you were just like going through it, man.
Yeah, man, and it was just like back to back to back.
Yeah.
And, outside of the bankruptcy as well, I lost, my mom's home, my own home, all my kids' stuff and stuff like that, and then found myself in prison. So, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't go do no protective custody time, you know what I'm saying? They know me at Yazoo Federal Penitentiary. 206-69075 was my penitentiary number.
Okay.
It stays with you for the rest of your life if you get one. But yeah, my experience in prison was like, really the rebirth for me, because I had a lot of respect from individuals in regards to, just being there the way I carry myself. There's a lot of talent in there, so I used to get with the group of guys who was off into the rap music, and the warden okayed me to be able to do a concert in the prison.
That's cool.
We had a whole concert at on the basketball court. I'll never forget it. The whole entire prison was out.
That's cool.
And a lot of guys that had talent was able to showcase their talent, and me doing my thing. And like I say, prison was almost like a recharge, a restart for me. I had a lot of older guys that had been there forever and was, blessed enough to kind of really take me under the wing and be like, yo, man, this ain't the place for you when you get back out there.
Yeah.
And they started to implement, have you ever thought about, getting back with G Unit? You and 50 is like, y'all a powerhouse together, bro. And I started really paying attention to my wrongs instead of just looking at the things that was done wrong to me.
Man,
you know what I'm
so
saying?
Yeah, what you're saying with, that's actually the key to success, is figuring out how we can take responsibility, especially if you're cleaning up a relationship, because it's a two-way thing,
right?
And so if you were, if you could take responsibility for it, you can then many times,
you can get it to work. And then that's exactly what I did. I got out of prison, and I had a couple guys that was around the crew of G Unit that was pushing for the reunion of us getting back together. Shout out to DJ Who Kid and Coach PR. And, they pushed it enough to the point where I think 50 started to see the big picture of us coming back together. And he green-lighted everything, and the reunion started. And, we was looking to move forward. And from there, everything was going well. And out of nowhere, start dealing with different issues and different things, and he was having different issues with different individuals within the group, and it all fell apart again, And at this point, I just look at it as if like it was a phase in my life that I could never take away. I'm grateful for, because 50 gave me the opportunity to give my music to the masses, to the world, and it was my talent that made me, Nobody wrote my music for me, ever. I've always wrote all my music, and, some of theirs too. Some of his too, let me say that. Speaking in regards to 50 Cent, I've wrote records for him where he's actually recited my music word for word, but he's never wrote anything for me. I'm an artist. I'm way more than just rap, so I can make country music and all of these. I love music. I can do anything with the music.
What's your relationship right now with 50?
It's not good at all. I haven't spoken to 50 in years.
Okay.
We just don't see eye to eye, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. It's just one of them situations where a lot has been said and done from my end as well as his. We've never had the chance to sit down and talk like men face to face. 50 does a lot of things, social media wise, so it tends to, put us in a compromising position where the fans have to pick sides. They really don't know the truth. They're coming up with what they think it is, and he has a bigger platform, so if he says this, then it seems like everybody immediately, oh, he's right. You know what I'm saying? Without him. But it's just one of them situations where I don't got no ill will. I ain't got nothing negative to say in regards to us at this point. I had a great run. Could I come back to G Unit and tour or get money together? Yeah, I'm open for that. In regards to me signing to the label and stuff like that, I think that's a little bit far-fetched right now. I'm focused on Cashville Records. Y'all make sure y'all get my clothing line in there, you dig?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you can go tap in and get you some Cashville gear. But, yeah, I'm focused on my own label, and got a couple artists that's been rocking with me from day one. One by the name of Trey 8, one by the name of Oski. And they got a real big local buzz. So I'm just trying to get them off the ground, and got a few little movie opportunities, and I'm about to drop some new music.
Oh, nice.
In the next up and coming weeks as well. So I've been excited about that. And I've been in talks with a couple major labels and stuff has reached out in regards to looking to try to give me an opportunity. Couple major artists as well has reached out, looking to, see if I would be interested in coming joining what they got going on as well. And I'm just, in a place where I'm just trying to figure it out.
On the grind.
Make my next move, my best move.
Yeah, man.
So I can give me a mansion like you.
Hey,
You
know
did.
what it takes, man.
Yeah,
it's all the same shit. You just gotta grind and overcome adversity, not lose enthusiasm. It's all the same. I mean, with Cashville Records, so here's the thing. You're 42 now.
Yep.
And you've learned from your mistakes.
Exactly.
How much more prepared now are you compared to, 10, 20 years ago?
Man, it's like a whole 360. I look back on a lot of the things that I did do and a lot of mistakes I did make, and it was like, man, if I knew then what I knew now, you know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people. I've always had the support of Nashville and Cashville. Um, I've also experienced a lot of the local artists is feeling like I ain't did this or I could have did this. They almost use this gatekeeping word in a sense, like I'm kind of keeping them from being successful, and it's like I can't determine your success.
No, you're on your own grind too.
You're on your own. Know? I'm on my own grind, and I could write, you know, 30 artists' records for them, and it doesn't mean that they're gonna actually blow. I've always realized that success is not only based on the individual, but it's based on the man upstairs, a higher power, God.
Man, right?
So he makes the last decision, the first one too.
Yeah, man.
So it's like if what's meant for you is going to be there. It's not too many local artists that I haven't did something for.
Sure.
You know, whether it worked out to be them still amongst me or us still having a great relationship. Yeah. I've always been a helping hand and always been humble and genuine with a lot of guys, and a lot of things that I've realized is when things don't go a lot of times when things don't go artists' way, they tend to make up
and blame
reasons and blame you for.
That's that not taking responsibility. I mean, the thing is, like, we make our own path.
Exactly.
Like, as good people, we try to help as many people as we can, but we're not responsible for other people's success.
Exactly.
And so it's hard for me.
I know it is.
Like, you get a bunch of texts. I want to text everybody. I can't text everybody back.
Exactly.
You know, it's like it's and people don't really understand that until they've been in that position. It's not like you don't care about them, don't want them to be successful. It's like you only got so much energy. You're dealing with a case for 3 years.
Exactly.
You know, a bunch of bullshit, and trying to starting your label.
Yep.
Got some artists, got your own record. It's like you gotta take care of yourself.
And got kids that I'm trying to grow my relationship with. I've missed so many years out of my children's life. I haven't been the best father. You know, but I also realize that it's never too late. So I'm trying to get my life back in place even from that end as well. Like I say, taking responsibility for your own actions. I can't blame nobody. I can't blame. I can shout out my baby mothers. Y'all did a great job without me. I was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to fix everything, you know, and kind of, that's why I named this next tape that I'm dropping, The Renovation. Kind of like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? The Renovation is the name of my next EP that I'm about to drop in the up and coming weeks. So
what's it? What would you say it's mostly about?
Well, it's more or less touching bases on everything that I've been through. I haven't released music in the past 3 years, just going through so much, and you know, of course, fighting this case and things like that has really just took a big toll on me, and I just decided to, you know, set everything in God's hands and quit stressing so much about the outcome of things. So that's what's brought me to this place where dropping music again is definitely my biggest focus right now. And The Renovation, I just felt like it was the perfect title. It's like I'm renovating. The building that I built has already been there. It's already there. But the vision of things that I see has changed. So now let me renovate this building, because I built this building, Cashville, baby. Now I see a lot of things different. So I want to, you know, implement everything that I've been through, the future of me, and just touch bases on where the streets is at right now too as well. And also address a lot of this fuckery that they talk about and say about, and you know, like I say, I've always felt like I was an underdog. A lot of people try to compare music to age, if you understand. Oh, you too old to rap or whatever, man. Talent doesn't have a limit on it. So it's like, for me, it's just like, I respect this new generation and everything that they doing. I try to support as much of the up and coming and new artists as much as possible. But I most definitely want to also keep and stay in the mix with these guys, not take away from them, but rock with them, you know?
Where would you say the streets are right now in Nashville?
We're in a turning point, you know. The things that we used to do in the streets, you cannot do now. It's not gonna fucking happen for you. You're gonna find yourself in somebody's penitentiary or somebody's grave if you're not smart. So I think that we're in a growth spurt. We have to grow up. The streets is in a growing up place, I think. Of course, you got the younger generation that's out there that's basically probably running and doing the things that how we were when we were young. But far as guys my age or artists that's been pioneers or considered legends or whatever to the city and any type of thing, we're in a place where I think we're more held accountable to God in the right direction versus then trying to lead these youngsters down to some of the rough directions that we've been through. It's just like a 360. It's like, you know, do what you can to educate them. You can't make nobody do anything.
Right.
But it doesn't hurt to, you know, give positive energy. I'm putting more positive energy into my life and my career than I've ever done because I dealt with a lot of negativity coming up. So that seems like all I was given. And honestly, a lot of that has got me I feel like in the position that I'm dealing with, even with the case. It's like they hadn't been able to separate young buck, you know, like you said, like the past to the present. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like the streets is in a place where we have to learn to adapt to change. You know?
Oh yeah, man, adapting to change. Who was it? It was Darwin. Said it's not the strongest. It's not the strongest that will survive, but those that can best adapt to change.
You know, I never know that, but that's the truth.
Yeah,
you know, you can be the toughest, roughest, and all of that, but don't mean you're gonna survive. You can adapt to change. You can kind of add a few more years to your life out here, and you'll be all right. I just, like I say, I love my city. I love Nashville. I love what we're becoming.
Yeah.
I love to see artists thrive and grow and blow. You got so many different artists that live here now.
Yeah.
Not just in the music, it's actors and everything that's around that lives here now and stuff like that. Turn that phone off, bro. Yeah, man, so it's like, because they need to hear us. This is a dope interview, bro. But it's so many different people here, bro, that's just outside of music, man. There's so much opportunity in Nashville right now. It's crazy, man.
Well, you think about like giving back, and you know, Jelly's doing a good job of it. What you're talking about is giving back. It's one of my goals too. I'm thinking about like my estate planning. Like, how do we give it? Like, I'm really thinking, how do I give it away all the city if something happens to me to make the biggest impact?
That's big.
And you know, I look at the kids growing up without dads.
Exactly.
And I think that might be the biggest problem we got for the streets.
You know what? You saying that is the absolutely truth. You know, I got to look at me as a father and the type of father I've been to my children, which was, I consider it horrible because I wasn't there throughout a lot of my children's life. I got 4 girls and 2 boys. You know, I've been there, you know, financially at times when I could, but I wasn't, you know, being a father is way more than being able to send money here and there and give that, you know, to actually be in that kid's life and to be respected as a father from that child. It takes work as a man and as a parent. I'm in that place. I came up without a father. My mother was my father. I had to be become the father of my household. You understand? Which led me to the streets because it was such a struggle for my mother trying to raise me and her sister children. She has custody of her sister kids to this very day. And, you know, I think that's a big part in giving back in that way is, in my eyes, is kind of led by example in a sense as well.
Well, like, you know, what you're saying, like, you grew up without a father. And, you know, you've been learning this entire time.
Exactly.
So, like, you know, we can see young Buck who had a tremendous amount of success and is a star and those type of things. And that's a persona. That's like
exactly
not exactly the real person.
Exactly.
You know, and so the real person has been learning how to figure all this wild shit out the entire time.
Exactly, man.
And it ain't that easy.
It ain't.
And a lot of times we'll put people on these pedestals, and you know, you're just doing the best with what you've been taught. I'm just doing the best with what I've been taught.
That's right.
And now you're 42, had a lot of experience now. You're like, oh, this is how it works.
Exactly.
Nobody told you that's how it works. You're just kind of going on what you're seeing and doing the best at the time with what you've been taught, and with a lot of success, and that's exciting. And you can make some mistakes when you have that much success young. I mean, it's you're put in a lot of crazy situations.
I mean it.
And I know.
I mean it, man.
And you know, it's you know, but now 42, I mean, it's like a renovation, like you're saying.
It is, man. It's like a renovation. The house is already built.
Yeah.
The house is built. And, you know, it's just about going in and, you know, changing the picture.
Yeah.
You know, I paint these walls this color, you know. Let me make this ceiling with the stars shining in it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Just really just getting it together. And like I say, accountability is big with me taking accountability for whatever wrongs that I have done. I've always been a man of that. And just moving forward with a real fresh start, in a sense, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know who? I had a dream, man, and I'm only. This is the first time I even spoken on this, bro. I had a dream that it's like I got this big record with Taylor Swift. Honestly, bro, and most of the time I've had these kind of dreams, they came true. So I'm interested to see if God gonna do the same thing with this one, because honestly, like, I've seen interviews where she spoke on me and gave me props and stuff because she's a fan of the Shorty Want to Ride With Me, and she was saying how she used to ride by my home and stuff like that, and look at my cars, because she's from Hendersonville. I used to live in Hendersonville back in the G, and now I'm thinking, shit, I need to be riding by your house looking at some of your cars. But yeah, man, I did, man. I had a dream that we were on the stage rocking out. Crazy. I don't know where it came from, but it's a dream, and I felt like, let me speak on this. You know what I mean?
You think about this, man, like, you know, with all the success that you had, you know what it's like when all of a sudden you're in the middle of that success.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa. How many times did you dream of things before that they came true? And if you're not dreaming like that, you're not. I mean, like, that's one of the keys to success. Now, you got to work really hard, but you better have big dreams.
You do, man. And those dreams, when they come big, I've noticed those are the ones that you pursue the most.
Yeah.
The biggest dreams that you have pertaining to whatever, especially if it's something pertaining to your career or life. The things that seem like they're out of reach be the closest to you sometimes. And, you know, like, even with me and G Unit, you know, I had a dream of being amongst Eminem before I even ever signed a contract to G Unit. Yeah. You know, awesome. I was with my kid's mother, my first two girls' mother, and she was pregnant with my second child, my first child, to be honest. Yep, my first child. And I sit in the living room, and that's when Lose Yourself record was big with Eminem. The video had came on, and I turned around and I said, I'm going to be around him one day. And she was like, whatever, get out of here. Yep. You know what I mean? And just maybe a few months later, of course, I was with G Unit, but I was right there with Dr. Dre, Eminem, and 50 Cent, and Eminem embraced me with love. He actually mixed the first record I was ever even heard on, which is Bloodhound on 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying album. So things can, you know, dreams do come true.
Yeah.
And I've learned when you dream on those things like that, you have to pursue it. That's why I spoke on it. You know, it's like that's always been something big of mine to be able to share a stage with a Taylor Swift, Jelly Roll, and Young Buck.
That'd be great.
That would be something just
Nashville,
like
maybe.
crazy. I can't leave Yellow Wolf out.
Right?
That's my guy, you know what I mean? Because he's just as much Nashvilleian as we are, you know what I'm saying? He's here. That's one of my closest friends. But to be able to share a stage with a Yellow Wolf, Jelly Roll, Taylor Swift, and me, I think we owe Nashville something like that.
I'll be there.
I mean it, man.
Come on.
Like, come on, y'all. Let's get together, bro. Let's do this, bro. Send the message out. You know, let's make this happen. Mr. Mayor, Freddie, make this happen. Just send them at the city wants to see something of that, you know, gigantic type of situation. It's not only for, you know, Nashville, but for the world, because we got some of the most talented individuals it is right here in Nashville,
Just coming out
Tennessee,
of coming out of Nashville. You know, just the originals. It's pretty crazy when you look at that. You know, the amount of talent that was born in the greater Nashville area.
That's true.
You know, it's finally we're finally seeing it. You're the biggest rapper. I mean, that was, and you were kind of, if I'm just remembering correctly, so I haven't thought about this in a lot of years, but back then you had Pistol.
Yeah, Pistol.
Haystack.
Haystack. Yeah.
Who else was coming up?
We had Pistol. We had Haystack. We had Boogie.
Okay.
A guy by the name of Boogie. I mean, now we even got, you know, you got your, you got, of course, Starlito.
Yep.
It's so many different artists right now. City Paper.
Yeah, now it's like a whole, I mean, it's gotten credibility. You know, but back then when you started, there was nobody coming out of Nashville.
No, I used
so
to
you
hang
kind
up
of started that whole, you know,
the whole
energy towards that.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, Pistol, Cool Daddy Fresh, those guys came before me, and I've always had the utmost respect for them. I had just seen an interview recently where Pistol was kind of speaking on some of the things that I had said and done when I was a younger individual was kind of crazy.
What you gonna do, man?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, just to see all of these different artists start to get what they deserve is a good feeling for me, because, like you said, you know, back then when I first started being, you know, or looking to make a name for myself in this game, you know, man, you had to fight to even get a record spent on the radio.
Yep.
You know, and it's probably not a light pole in this city I haven't hung a poster up
Right.
on.
Exactly.
You know, so I was always hands-on with everything, like hanging up my own posters and just being a part of the independent scene of the city. I was always a staple to that. You know what I'm saying? This city made me before ever a G Unit or me becoming a part of G Unit. I was always a legend to this city before I even moved in that direction, and still is. So shout out to Cashville, man, for always supporting me, man, and supporting, you know, the artists. We have to support our local artists. We have to support all our artists if we want to really see us achieve that high level of success. You know?
Absolutely. You know, what's interesting, because, you know, now Nashville's gotten so big, but at least from my experience, like what I appreciate is kind of the Nashville spirit. When we're successful, when locals are successful, like we're all happy for them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly.
This year, I bet you 2023, one of the biggest highlights of my year was Jelly being successful. I'm like, it's amazing to watch.
And it's amazing to watch, and it feels good just to know an individual.
Yep.
You know, and what they come from, and to watch them, you know, live out their dreams.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The same way that they had to watch you live out yours. And some may be supportive and some may not. Me personally, I choose to be positive and support even the ones that wasn't even possibly or probably even supportive of me. Doesn't mean that I'm going to give you that same energy. Because sometimes, you know, a good deed can change a bad heart.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? A person can look and say, well, man, and, you know, and take accountability. Man, I was wrong when I did that. kind of like how I'm having to do with certain issues. Like, damn, man, I was wrong when I shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean?
That's the key to freedom, man. We've got to take responsibility for our mistakes.
Yeah,
we got to apologize. We got to mean it. And it's up to the person whether they want to accept it or not.
Exactly.
But a lot of times people just want us to acknowledge like what they were thinking, like how we messed up. Like, you know what, I did this. And they're like, yeah, man.
Exactly.
You know, like, okay.
Exactly.
I can forgive you for that. But that's really the key. You know, I think like right now, the victim mentality is it's ruining people.
It's true.
You know, I feel like we're in the oppression Olympics.
It
you know, like I'm more oppressed. No, I'm more oppressed. Like, no.
Yeah, that's right, though.
And it's got to be a setup because you can't be successful being a victim.
Not at all.
You can't do it.
It's no
so, like,
way.
why are they telling people in the world, oh, you know, be a victim, be oppressed, be these things? You think about this in the hood, like. If they keep telling people that they don't have an opportunity, that they don't have a chance, oh, there's no way you can come up, the whole system's against you.
Exactly.
If you really believe that, like...
You're never going to get out of it.
Nope.
You're going to stay in this caged-in place that they put you in.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to... That's a wonderful way in being able to relay it is to say, like... you have to get out of the box, think out the box, live out the box.
Yeah.
Don't let nobody put you in a box.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? And that's what my success came from. Because, you know, I realized from the beginning that, you know, I'm in a room full of people from all over the place or whatever. And I say I'm from Nashville. And at that time, you know, we wasn't as big of a city where we are now. So you say Nashville, the first thing coming to mind is country music.
Yeah, exactly.
You're thinking cowboy hats and so it's just one of them things where it was like I realized how I had to, you know, not allow individuals put me in a box, but also create my own lane as well.
Yes.
And that's where Cashville came from.
I love it.
You know, Nashville is definitely the home and forever Music City is what it is. But Cashville was to represent the other side of the city that was kind of like not being understood in a sense. It was like this is more or less the you know, it's two sides. You got country music, we got all kind of genres of music, but you also got people who the have and the have-nots. You know what I'm saying? So I come a part of the have-nots, but I've always felt like I was just one out of a bubble that made it out, because it's so many more artists that's just as talented as me, or more talent than I am, and you know, if you don't get out that bubble, then
well, I just think if you would have believed them when they said you can't do X, Y, or Z. I mean, we are what we think.
That's
so, like,
right.
if you believe that bullshit,
it's bullshit.
and that's what I'd like to get you know, a message I like to get out to people just in general.
Real.
I talk about this a lot. Is like, yes, you can. Don't believe them. Now, is it going to be you're just going to think it's going to happen? Like, no, you got to be willing to work hard.
Exactly.
You got to be able to take personal responsibility.
Exactly.
And then don't believe the bullshit.
Hey, don't believe the bullshit and go for it. Hard work pays off.
Yeah.
It most definitely does. I mean, look at yourself, bro. You got one of the biggest homes in East Nashville, period.
Yeah,
if not the biggest. We're sitting in, you know, and I know life ain't been easy for you. Like I've heard you even speak on the fact that you've been overcoming and had to overcome adversity and dealing with, you know, a case and things like that in your life. And if you didn't have that willpower to, you know, to fight for yourself, you know what I'm saying, and to create your own lane, and even you wouldn't be here today. So I commend you too as well. You know what I'm saying? Because adversity is real.
It is.
And a lot of times the anxiety keeps people from actually being able to conquer adversity.
That's right.
And I know because I've had multiple anxiety attacks about things.
Well, see, you're talking about this. So, like, most people, you know, they see you on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, well, he doesn't experience those same things. We all experience, you know, sadness, anxiety, some depression, you know, like that's life.
It's real.
And so, you know, how do you think, like, younger kids coming up, how can they relate to that? What would you say to get them to understand that that's like a normal thing?
Well, I would start by saying it's okay to make mistakes. You know, don't allow your mistakes to make you. You know, if you don't know everything, you're gonna make mistakes, but don't allow this mistake to take so much toll on your life or your way in thinking that it gets you off course, or you don't see the big picture. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, be prepared for the mistakes and be prepared to correct the mistakes that you make. It starts from making mistakes. I had to get out here and bump my head so many times, you understand, to the point where I'm like, damn, that hurt. I ain't doing that no more. Oh, shit, bro, where'd that come from? Oh, man, I'm gonna have to make sure I don't, you know, it's just being out here and making mistakes, but also taking accountability to the mistakes that you do make, so you can, you know, find out the right way. Because success, to me, there's no individual road you have to go down to become successful. Like people say, you have to do this, you have to do that. Everybody's success comes different, around. Bro. So it's like, you know, you might, it's like a roller coaster. Just because this person had this way doesn't mean that's going to be the way your success comes for you. So I would say just get out here and try things and kind of create your own lane, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I see guys get like a little weed charge or something, and then it's all the system's like, man, look, you've got to accept that responsibility, whether it's legit or not. Or, you know, yes, it's probably bullshit, but that doesn't matter because you're in the system. And if you let that hold you back, that's you letting it hold you back, not the system holding you back.
Now, I do think marijuana needs to be legalized.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Let's talk about it. I think that Nashville and Tennessee in general, we are really missing out a lot in regards to legalizing cannabis at this point in my life. I feel like that it could do a lot for the city. And I'm also I also feel like you know, we need a casino around here. You know,
that would be a hard one. You know?
I mean, this Bible Belt thing, I'm not really sure about the politics and how those things work, but I just feel like Nashville is a full-blown city, or even becoming a full-blown city. So let's offer the things that
some of the cities offer.
Some of the other cities offer.
Here's the thing, like the marijuana thing, that's not a city thing, that's a state. So, you know, the state legislature is very conservative when it comes to drugs. And man, I hate to watch it. I hate to see the divide, especially at the state level, because I know some of those guys and they're good people. But it's like they are stuck in the past. And it's like, look. I heard the Senate Majority Leader, I think he's Senate Majority Leader McNally, you know, just was talking about felons getting their voter rights restored. He didn't think a felon should get their voter right restored. I'm like, what are you even thinking, man?
That's
like,
crazy.
You make a mistake 20 years ago when you're a kid. And you can't vote your whole life.
Your whole life. That's how I feel about the gun laws. Because also, you know, you have a situation, say, let's use my own situation where I've went to prison for, you know, a felon in possession of a firearm and federal prison. And with that being said, I've had to sign that paper that says I will never possess another weapon in my life.
That's wild.
Well, you know, I just feel like to be able to protect your life should be a decision that you're able to make, you know, not because, and here it is, I had nothing to do with even the gun that I went to prison for, but I'm held accountable to the point where if I wanted to go get a gun license.
You get locked up again.
I'll be locked up again, or get caught with another weapon or around another weapon. I'm locked up, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's fair for people to be able not to be able to protect the rest of their life.
No, it's
based on the fact that you were caught or considered caught with a weapon. That's not fair at all.
Yeah, the system, it's like once you serve your time, you've served your time. Like, do they know what that's like? No. Well, it's set up where you serve your time. But how they can give you ultimately a life sentence based off of, you know,
Yep.
You served your time.
You did your time.
And so, you know, I think the governor actually in Tennessee is pretty good on the subject.
Yeah.
To where he's done a lot of work in those type of reforms and wanted to make a difference with it. And, you know, not necessarily with guns, but, you know, with giving people second chances and those type of things.
Yeah. We got a great governor and a great mayor. I just really feel like now's the time for us to be able to, you know, expand on some of the laws that or at least being able to try to go and you know, get some of these laws passed that would not only benefit a lot of people's lives, but if we look at it from a financial place, it will bring a lot of capital
for sure
to Nashville, Cashville, you know.
Yes. No, that is the thing. You know, you think about the weed laws. So many people have actually gone to prison for this.
Exactly.
It's like, you know, you want to relieve stress off of certain parts of the population that are disadvantaged. Like,
exactly.
You don't have to lose. Like, I think they should be hard on violent crimes. Personally,
I mean, you know,
like they've been somewhat loose lately in the city. But like when you look at like the drug crimes, you know, I understand fentanyl and those type of things. That's a whole other level.
That's a whole different ball game.
You know, when it comes to weed stuff like that, like come on. Why put this on somebody for a long time? And if they're already in a difficult situation, why put so much pressure on them they might not be able to come out?
Well, also, what are y'all doing with in y'all life away from being the politicians?
Oh yeah,
some of them have experienced. I'm pretty sure what it's like to smoke a blunt or something. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And they didn't go get. Yeah, you know, they're still right there able to dictate the law. So just respect, you know, your own actions as well, too.
Yeah, it's pretty hypocritical. You're going to put somebody in jail for something that you're doing.
Yeah. You send somebody to jail for 10 years and you just smoke 10 blunts. That's not cool, you know? So it's like, yeah, man.
It's pretty wild.
But I hope so. At least sometimes in my years on earth that I'll be able to see the state of Tennessee legalize marijuana, man.
Yeah, I think it'll happen, but I'm not sure when. You know, I mean, it's like it is because you know how the House is controlled.
Yeah.
You know, they're a different type. In many ways, a different type of Republican, man. I get frustrated, and I'm not saying either side, but I get frustrated with how they represent their republicanism per se. I'm more of like a libertarian. You know, I think that we should have a lot less laws and a lot more freedom, and
that's a good one. Libertarian. I think I might rock with that because I'm kind of like right there with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't consider myself, you know, a Republican or a Democrat or none of that. I just, you know, like I say, I agree with certain things on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them situations where I very rarely even talk politics and things like that.
Sure.
You know,
it's difficult to do, and especially in today's society where everything can be taken out of context.
Exactly.
But, you know, what are you thinking? You know, you were talking about the new record. What is your vision for the next 10 years? What, like, you know, you said Taylor Swift. What else is the vision? Where are you going with it?
I see myself in these movies, man. I'm really, really big on, you know, trying to get off into the acting side. I'm actually about to start acting school just to kind of get a little bit familiar with, you know, the way that works, you know. Also, I see myself running a successful label. I still got so much to give on the music side. I've only been able to release 2 solo projects worldwide, which was straight out of Cashville, and my other project, Buck the World. So, you know, I still feel like I got so much music to give to the world. I'm actually working on a project as well that's coming out. And it was produced by DJ Paul from 3-6 Mafia. It's called Unexpected. So I'll be releasing that project as well. In the next 10 years, man, honestly, man, I see myself being a business owner here, you know, having a couple bars, a couple restaurants, something that's big enough, you know, tourist attraction that's big around here. I'm a household name to the city, so I definitely want to do something that brings all nationalities together, not just, you know, a bar in the hood. You know, I want to have a bar in the hood, a bar downtown, possibly Broadway.
Yeah.
You know, just really being successful through businesses outside of just the music.
Yeah.
You know, is where I kind of see myself 10 years on down the road.
What do you see like for the artist right now with Cashville Records? Who do you have right now? Like, what do you see for them?
I see them blowing up. You know, within the 10 years, I think that at least the two artists that I got, I think they'll carry the flag or be able. But they've been so hands-on with me. I've had a chance to groom them in a lot of different areas in regards to my artists Trey 8 and Oski.
Are they from Nashville?
Yeah, they both from Nashville. One is from South 8 Projects. The other one he's from East Nashville as well. So it's just one of them situations where, like I say, they got a couple local records that's really, really big. And I can see them, they've experienced so much by just being amongst me. The things that I go through don't just affect me, but it affects the individuals that's around you. So they've seen me, you know, and the ups and downs that I've had throughout my career, which I feel like give them a good lesson on what not to do and what to do. So I just and outside of them just having that pure talent, I think that they definitely gonna be able to carry the Cashville flag, I should say. You know what I mean?
Do they have any music on Spotify or anything?
Yeah, they got a couple projects out right now. Oski, he's just recently dropped a project. They drop a lot of different tapes and stuff. They to the point where I can't even keep up with them all.
Oh, that's good.
You know, just staying relevant and just different songs, different videos, and
that's what Jelly did too.
Yeah.
Remember how Jelly was just dropping stuff
catalog
constantly?
crazy, right?
He's a beast.
I mean it. And then his catalog, I tell people like, and that's a process that I'm going through now in regards to dealing with this bankruptcy that I'm about to be discharged from. You know, I was dealing with a situation in regards to being signed to G Unit where 50 made this claim that I owed him, you know, $250,000 or whatever the case may be. And I knew it was bogus, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he made that claim and it never came out to mean to nothing or nothing like that in regards to my case. So that kind of did away with my contract with G Unit as well. But in the midst of it, to pay my actual debt off, I had to basically relinquish my catalog that I have, you know what I'm saying? And it's something that I didn't want to do if I knew what I knew now. If you know what I'm saying, then I don't think I would have got that deep into the point where I'm having to get rid of my catalog. But I'm also looking at it as a fresh start. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I got so much more music to kind of rebuild another catalog as well. And then who knows? I'll probably go buy back the catalog that I'm using to kind of restart with anyway. So it's just it's one of them situations where speaking on Jelly Roll, like his catalog is so enormous. I know he's loving the fruits of his labor.
He is,
you know,
man.
being at that position where he's at now and then having so much music out and giving the people so much music before, you know, once you know, catapult and get to that level, people start to go and revisit and buying all of your music that you had before you made it to this place. And a lot of that is, you know, as long as you maintain owning your publishing and stuff like that,
Yeah,
those checks.
He did it. That's how you get those big checks.
Those checks can look like something, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
A lot of people could learn from what Jelly did.
Yeah.
Because he did it in a different way. He did it in his own way.
He did.
He overcame a lot of adversity, obviously.
Man. He did.
And it's been just awesome.
It is,
awesome to
man.
watch. When Save Me came out, this is why it was his first song. I texted him something to the effect, I saw the text, and he didn't have a record label yet.
Oh.
I said, I think you might win a Grammy for that song.
And look at him now.
He's up for a Grammy for that song.
He's got to win it. They got to give him a Grammy for that song. That song is one of the most, relevant songs in regards to any genre of, going through anything in a sense. You can turn that record on and kind of find motivation into that record. That's one of my favorite records from Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
And like I say, man, I'm really proud of his success, man, and just watching him, grow and bigger and bigger. It seemed like he's doing something bigger and bigger every other day. You know what I'm saying? And and like I say, he owes nobody nothing. That's something that I want to make sure that people understand in regards to artists and things like that. I've heard individuals already start to, oh man, he ain't did it. No, what have you done? What are you doing? You dig what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's one of them things where he owes nobody nothing but himself. And he owes what he choose to feel like, what helped him and what's there for him. So I just hope he continue to bless others like he's been blessing others, man, and he'll be blessed forever.
Well, yeah, you look at like what he's done. You're talking about some people might be upset, which is just all bullshit.
Exactly.
But like he doesn't. You're right. He doesn't know anybody anything.
Oh, nobody.
And this guy's he's one of the biggest stars right now in the world.
Exactly.
He is. Everybody wants a piece of him. Everybody wants to talk to him. Everybody wants to, and like he can't possibly.
It's no way.
Be there for every single person.
No way.
And it's people don't understand that though, because I've had a lot of friends do really well in country music, and they get really, really busy, and it's hard for them.
It's hard for you
I'm
to
like,
even...
hey, you don't ever worry about responding. Like, don't even worry about it. We're good. When we see each other, it'll be like old times, but you got to handle your business at the moment.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Exactly.
And so for those, giving Jelly a hard time, they need to, chill out.
Yeah, man, chill the hell out, man. Dude don't owe nobody nothing. He owe himself the success that he's having.
Yeah.
And let's support and let's keep pushing Jelly to go to the moon if you can get there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, this guy's testifying at Senate.
Who's doing that?
Nobody, man. It's
incredible. I ain't even accomplished that. You know what I'm saying? And I might have been, kicking the door down for the rap scene, but it's still levels that I got to go to that I've watched this man, get to and not only get there, but handle it well.
Yes.
And probably better than I would have been able to handle it. Yes. I'm just being honest.
It's as good as anybody could do.
Exactly.
He's done as good as anybody. It's really good.
I'm giving you your flowers, Jelly Roll. You deserve it,
That's
bro.
right, man.
For real.
He does. But we also have, I really like his struggle. And he's overcome a lot of adversity too.
He's been through it. Struggle's been through it. I think Struggle's done time too as well.
Oh, yeah.
Struggle's a real dude. You know what I'm saying? Struggle got real music. And I love their music because it's as successful as they are, they're not forgetting to actually keep that pain in there.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are still experiencing, that pain. And they make music that's more or less for me, I hear the pain still in the music. The hunger is still there. Mm-hmm. Struggle deserves everything that he's getting right now, for sure. He's definitely been through
the ringer, man.
The ringer, bro.
He did a podcast probably, I don't know, it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe a little longer.
Oh, yeah?
And, really digging into his story.
Yeah, his story real, man.
I mean, my God.
His story is real, man. For real, man. He's one of them dudes, like I say, I got the utmost for Struggle, the utmost respect for Struggle, and like I say, him and Jelly, they like a dynamic duo type thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like they've been rocking with each other for so long. I respect their relationship amongst each other and things like that. And real friends is hard to come by. So it's like when you do get them, you hold on to them, and both of them guys, man, is definitely deserving of the blessings that they've been receiving, man. And I send them nothing but love, man, and many more blessings. You did.
Yeah, man. It's been cool to watch them both.
Word.
You were saying you're really close with Yellow Wolf too?
Yeah, man. I probably go get up with Yellow when I leave here to get in the studio. He's been really, really on a working mission right now. He's been in that studio every day, and as well as myself. But we definitely got some good music together that's looking to come out and hit the streets crazy.
That's awesome.
Yellow Wolf has always been one of my favorite rappers.
Yeah. Super
it's-
talented.
He's super talented, man, and it's just like matter of fact, I first came to your mansion with Yellow Wolf on 4th of July.
Yeah.
Biggest party, bro. It was, man, I can't, but you doing it again this year, right?
Well, we're doing a renovation right now, so when that's done, it's going to probably be like next a year or so before it's going to be done. But
it's going to take a long. Yeah, you got a lot of house. You renovating the whole thing.
the whole main mansion. Yeah, this is the guest house. This not, but yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But you have to come by and.
Yeah, I definitely will, bro. It was a crazy party, man. A lot of people, a lot of great people here too. I met that night.
Yeah, some good ones.
It was live. A lot of fine women.
Beautiful women, man.
Beautiful women out here, bro. So yeah, man, I definitely.
I got a girlfriend now.
Oh,
but
yeah,
she's all good with it. She doesn't like get jealous or nothing.
Hey, man, listen, those the best girlfriends to have.
Yep.
Mine's the same way. You know what I'm saying? She ain't getting jealous. She's gonna party with them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that always helps, right?
It does, man. I tell you, man, it does. I've had a lot of great girls I've dated over the years, but like, finally finding somebody that's just super cool. That's and just lets me
key.
be myself, and
you
know what? I'm gonna respect you no matter what.
Exactly.
If it seems to disrespect you, I apologize. But
exactly.
She doesn't like rub it in. You know.
Exactly. And I think I kind of fall in that equation with mine as well.
That's good.
It's one of them situations just like that, and it works. You know, finding that one that really respects you, and not only that, you respect her for what she does and how she does it. That's key to, I guess, a strong relationship.
That is.
Know, for sure.
Now that we're realizing that we're growing up.
We're growing up. It's
experience
the experience you dig. I agree.
Oh, well, man, thanks so much for coming on here, man. It was a good time talking to you.
It really was, man. And whenever you need me out here, man, or want me to come back on the show, I'm always open, bro. This was a great interview, man. I think people really, really going to enjoy, hearing a lot of the Nashvillian stories and the Nashvillians, the native Nashvillians get together and be able to conversate like this. Davidson County, baby.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Well, come on anytime, man. It was awesome having you. And
all day.
Keep up the good work.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, yo, make sure y'all check my label out. My clothing line out as well. Cashville, bro. You can go to my Instagram pages, jump in my bio. Just grab you a piece of gear, bro. We got shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, jeans, so much stuff coming, bro, on the merchandise side. Make sure you check me out.
I'm going to get some today.
Man, yes, sir. Thank you, man.